Friends of our channel and YouTubers, welcome. Answers of an alien from Andromeda, 5th 5 video, July 31, 2011. Question. Soren asks, what happens if the comet turns out to be just a comet, and no dwarf star shows up? Will everyone look to the next info site that tells of an impending future transformation? Soren, according to news reports, the body, old planet nucleus, which precedes the dwarf star, has accelerated greatly in approach to the Sun, because it is not an ordinary comet. It's massive as a brown dwarf with a big, strong gravitational field, and is accompanied with some smaller spacecraft. The first one will appear at the beginning of September, is this celestial body. You will be able to view from September this approach, and are ready to take initiatives for your preparation for the events that follow. It will emit a light, strong and blue, that everyone can see. After this passage, so close to Earth in October and November, he will be off the track by Earth's gravitational force, and will be lost in space. You may consider it the blue Kashina. Its gravitational field will cause major changes in the planet, and some asteroids, in the asteroid belt, will be attracted by it in the wake of the passage, and could hit the Earth on your region of the Middle East. The dwarf star did not accelerate as much as the pseudo-massive comet, and should be viewed in sequence with a few months apart as the red Kashina. We do not know if Crew Lines, or Community Galactica has something to do with this behavior, but we'll find out what the exact timing of this change of approach speeds between the two. It seems that difference in acceleration approach is a natural relationship between the concentration of mass, inertia, and the intensity of the gravitational field strength of each, with respect to the Sun. The schedule of events remains unchanged. Be prepared for this passage, because the effects are those that have been previously forecast: increased volcanic activity, weather unpredictable, large changes in ocean currents, energy networks and satellites deactivating, all between September and December this year. During 2012, the atmospheric phenomena and tectonic adjustments to the planet will continue, which will culminate in the definitive change of polarity of the geomagnetic grid, in December 2012. In the year 2013, will begin the restoration of the main communities, to be rebuilt and adapted to this new reality. Question. Jose asks, Mithy, is it true that Nibiru can be transported within seconds? Is Nibiru arrival yet to be decided? If so, why would they do it? Is Lord Anu Community Galactica leader? Is this entity a fellow member of CG or from a warlike race? Jose, as I just explained, orbits and speed can be changed, when a thorough study of all possible consequences exists in the short, medium and long term. There is not this concept of instant transfer of celestial bodies. There is no Lord Anu. The board of Community Galactica is not headed by a single person, is a majority consensus of representatives of all affiliates. There are, admittedly, more warlike societies than others, but today these forces are used to protect the common set against aggressors. There are several associations of races, descended from insects and some breeds reptilians, who do not accept the rules of coexistence of the most humanoid galactic communities. In these parallel associations, some of them, with enough firepower, often are causing major problems in entire solar systems. There are problems in all levels of the third dimension, but we are always trying to compromise and settle on consensus. Question. A mate asks, Mithy, Betelgeuse, the sun in the constellation Orion is about to explode. as announced by NASA for 2012? The sun that you call Betelgeuse, in the constellation Orion, has exploded many centuries ago. You're only going to realize that 38 years from now. The issue of misinformation is crucial to the creation of a virtual reality by your elites, to get as long as possible, thus preventing your organization for future events. Question: Chuck asks, Mithy, when will your species land and inform the humans there is other life out in space? When will our governments not exist and we may run free on the planet? What level of frequency is a human, when he cares more for his planet goods than he cares for other humans? Chuck, the humanoid races who are friends of this colony, should be present during major events, at the end of the year and during the relocation to areas where you feel they should be ideal for your relocation. You can be sure that there will be remaining campaigns of your government against our contact, alleging bad intentions in our actions, including forging attacks and extermination of people, trying to drive the population against us, and taking them to detention camps previously defined for screening of the surviving population. This was a subject I wish to act further, but be prepared for a major campaign, alleging the dangerous aliens. Do not be mistaken by the elites, in their attempt to reduce the population. All aliens who attempt to make contact with you in these events, races are friendly, and supervised by the Community Galactica. The current leaders of the planet are mostly puppets of the system imposed by the elites. Many of them do not agree with the situation, but has no personality strong enough to abandon their positions. These weak-minded people will certainly be out of the new frequency band of the planet, and will no longer be here the next generation. See, you only need a drop of poison to contaminate a full glass of water droplets. The new Earth will filter all of these potential poisons, and make the flow with clean water. Question: Jack asks, a large earthquake is expected in the north of Japan, magnitude 8.9 or 10. Do you know when this will happen? Jack, until the end of this year, the gravitational interaction will cause a lot of tectonic movements on the planet. Precise dates are difficult to estimate, because many variables are added to these events. Japan is a densely populated place, and most critical region of the planet at the moment. Japan may lose much of its territory. From mid-August the situation could become catastrophic at any time. Taking advantage of the question, the North American territory is about to undergo major changes in the same period, and this will trigger a process of chaos in the whole of North America, also involving the Caribbean and Central America. Europe, Asia, Oceania, South America and poles will be affected in the sequence of events. Question: Rose asks, Mithy, gravity is a huge energy source. People have developed it only to be ridiculed and disappear. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes, Rose, the interaction of gravity is what keeps everything in balance in the universe. When you have the right technique and the right materials, you can use gravity to create devices that can run continuously, generating driving force, clean and free of charge. The gravity that holds the balance of the systems is the key to moving spacecraft. The interaction with the gravitational fields is the lever that beams magnetic unipolar controlled, which will drive the big ships through the solar systems. When you want to move a spacecraft from one planet to another in a solar system, it uses the tunnels of gravitational energy, which keeps the planets connected with each other. The speed obtained is as high as possible in these tunnels. Just as an example, our spacecraft of service can travel from Earth to the Moon through the tunnel of gravitational energy in 4 minutes. Your governments have in stock many of these technologies, but it is classified information. They intend to use in another economic context, because if they used in the present context, would cause a loss of control of your elites, who dominate the current industrial park. Message to all friends: you are a group interested in being informed about this crisis is already affecting the planet and the living, since last year. This crisis will pass through a period of chaos. Only the prepared will understand and accept the events consciously. There are those who fear these times of change, and there are those that look like the only way the planet be cured physically and spiritually. Change is inevitable. You will be aware as a group an active role in the conduct of all who can hear your guidelines. Once symptoms become clearer to the general population, the role of you will start to make sense, and may be a difference for others. The vulnerability of you, without communication or electric power in the regions most affected, will depend on your preparedness for these situations, without despair. My advice is that you make a list, where you can purchase the items necessary to maintain essential for survival, far from large cities. It is not necessary to run, do it only when viewing the facts actually happening. In reporting something visible in the sky, you will have a few days till the monetary system collapses, so you can quickly get the list previously organized, consisting of items like a small generator, fuel, electric stove, tools and implements, material lighting, lanterns and rechargeable batteries, disposable lighters, medications such as analgesics, anti-inflammatories and antibiotics, and all long-term food you can store. Try to buy non-transgenic grains, because they are being deliberately modified to cause sterility. Try to get a radio communication and antenna that can be installed in your vehicle or your place of refuge, to communicate with other groups. Be careful in the use of radios, for the insurgent groups will know your location to take possession of provisions. Use radios only when you are sure that your authorities are not looking for clusters of people in your region. Do not forget to carry your little computers and disks with information about your culture, your local customs, information about the planet before changes, to be displayed to new generations. It is very important to the rescue of your culture. You're here on the planet for reasons predefined. Is not mere coincidence that you were chosen to participate in all this. Imagine that your participation in this passage of the age of the planet will be in your curriculum for all eternity. The period in which the Earth has reached maturity and balanced the aura, and came into contact with your fellow creatures of the universe. During this period, you will experience the excesses of your corrupt governments, will suffer for the suffering of your people, assimilate the concepts of everything that is not ideal for a just society, who knows you are being prepared to lead the revival and implementation of these ideals, forged by iron and fire in your consciences, to become social leaders and counselors aware, in your future incarnations in this new context. If my small part in this conversation may have helped some of you to review your concepts of life, has been a contribution that I'm proud when I tell these experiences to my descendants. Thanks for watching. Join our channel. You are welcome there.